Hey, this is Crystal with another Tip Tuesday for you. Today's video is going to be a little bit lengthy, but basically I wanted to kind of go over what the home buying process really looks like. Oftentimes I have people commenting that they had no idea this is what it was going to take to get through the home loan process, or they had no idea it was so much work to buy a home. So I feel like a little bit of it is just that most purchases we make aren't that complicated. So when it comes to buying a home, we have kind of this subconscious little expectation that it's going to be like all the other things that we buy. And in fact, it's not. It's nothing like it. So I just really wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a step-by-step idea of how the process flows and maybe why it is so complex and oftentimes lengthy. The first thing that you want to do is you want to get pre-qualified with a lender. So, and that's not a terribly hard process. It's pulling credit and providing pay stubs, maybe some W-2s or taxes, but it's really confirming your credit score, what debts you have, and then what your income is. And putting all of that together helps us determine some spending power and some loan program options for you. So once you have that figured out, then you can go house shopping. So you'll want to get a realtor, you'll look at properties. Once you find one that you like, then you're going to make an offer. You're going to get that house under contract. And once it's under contract, it goes into escrow. Different people call it different things, but ultimately that goes into an escrow process. And basically the home is going to be under contract with you. You're going to provide earnest money to basically tell the seller that you're serious about your offer. It kind of is a little bit of security to the seller to go ahead and accept your offer. Then you're going to bring the contract to us, the lender, and we're going to then combine the contract with the application. We're going to put the whole package together, and from there we really hit the ground running. That's when kind of your 30-day timer starts. Oftentimes, I think most people have the expectation it takes about 30 days from start to finish for the home loan process, and that's when that really engages. So once the application comes to the lender, we're going to order title insurance from a title company. We're going to get property insurance from the property insurance provider of your choice. We're also going to order an appraisal. Now, the appraisal is a part that is kind of it's a little bit of a third-party concept, and we're at their mercy as far as timing goes. So when it comes to determining how long it's going to take to close, oftentimes it depends on how busy those appraisers are. They get super busy during the busy seasons, just like everybody else does, and so we accommodate the flow of their schedule. So we want that appraisal because that appraisal is going to tell us what the home is worth, and it has to be worth what you're willing to pay for it. So the loan, you can't get a loan for more than a home is worth. So we're verifying that all of that is intact. We're also verifying that the property is of a safe, sound, and sanitary nature. There's no liabilities within the property if you were going to purchase it. So an appraiser has a lot of work to do to confirm all of these things for us, and that takes a little bit to get that back. Once we get all of the third-party stuff in, title, insurance, appraisal, things like that, then we review all of that. That all has to be reviewed and approved just like your documents have to be reviewed and approved for compliance and meeting certain guidelines. So all of that coming together is quite the process, and it takes several days and sometimes weeks. So the review process is meaning that we go to the underwriter with that. So once our processor gets that file all buttoned up with all of the data, it is then sent to the underwriter who reviews everything. That's who gives the final blessing of the file or says, nah, I need a little more information. So, it's kind of a little bit of a back and forth getting the proper documentation so that the underwriter can prove that it meets all of the guidelines needed to get an approved file. So again, that takes a little bit of time, a little bit of teamwork to get it to all come together from everybody's part. A good realtor, a good insurance agent, good lender working together make that a pretty smooth process for buyers. Then we have what's called like a closing agent. So oftentimes we close at a title company. They're going to be the ones that help us with the signing of the final documents. That's when you're going to know exactly what you bring to closing. We usually don't have that dollar amount ready for you until just a couple of days before we close. Up until that point, it's going to be a very close estimate, but the to the penny amount doesn't really happen until we're right up to about the week of closing. So you'll sign everything. All your loan papers are going to get signed for the second time. You're going to sign them all in the very beginning with your initial loan packet, and then you're going to sign them again at closing. Closing is when you actually part with the money. So early on in the process, if you're bringing a down payment or closing costs out of pocket, We need to verify that you have the funds, but you don't actually part with them until we're sitting at the closing table that final day. So you're going to sign all of your documents. The title company is going to take your mortgage and all of the other legality pieces that come together to closing, and they're going to put them on record with the county courthouse. That's standard procedure. They're the ones that take charge of that. So they're going to finalize all that portion of the home loan process. And all of this is going on within the same day. Signing the papers, they're going to be cutting checks to anybody that's performed services during the loan process. If you had inspections or repairs, there's often fine tuning and last minute invoices that get taken care of the day of closing. So it's a pretty busy day for a closer. As a buyer, lots of times bringing your check and providing your driver's license is your responsibility that day, and then signing the loan paperwork. And then the final thing is you get your keys. So obviously that's the fun day. That's the exciting part of this months worth of process that it takes to get a home bought. But a lot of it really comes down to organization. Organization, teamwork, and good professionals that are dedicated to what they're doing, because there are a lot of layers to buying a home. And it can be a great process. And it's going to be even better if you're prepared properly for it. So just be sure and communicate well. Be open with your lender and your realtor as far as your expectations and your wants. And everybody's going to do their best to make that happen for you. But hopefully this little bit of a rundown makes a little bit of an anticipation of the steps to come in regards to buying a house. So it all takes a little bit of time, but totally doable and totally worth it. So hopefully this was good information. Sorry this video was a little bit long, but if you have any questions, if it's sparked some extra interest, or just questions on the process in general from what you are already prepared for, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always happy to help. Have a great day.